Hello, welcome to this update for the Southern Indian Ocean. So we have already tropical cyclone Chido. It's still like tropical storm strength, but it might strengthen a little bit and head towards northern Madagascar. Then we have this other area just northwest of Australia, around moderate chance of development. This might form into a quick tropical storm and head out to sea, so no threat to Australia as of now. There's also 91S further west. They might try to form into something later this week, and 94S further east. So there's 91S and 94S and 93S. They might form soon. So the greatest threat here to land is tropical cyclone Chido to northern Madagascar. These ones might stay out to sea, but provide some heavier downpours into northern Australia and those areas. We have also some tropical trouble near Vietnam, parts of Malaysia, with some very big downpours to talk about. So stay tuned for that. The current forecast from tropical storm Chido has it passing just north of Madagascar, so not like making landfall, but passing like just north. If this goes right, this track, it could make landfall in the northernmost part of the island as a weak cyclone, like severe tropical storm. And it does have it passing as a weak to moderate tropical storm through Mayotte as well, just south of the Comoros by this weekend. So we'll, we will monitor it, but just be on alert on northern Madagascar there, in case this strengthens more, because this is just the first forecast. This might change throughout the coming days. So let's see. There's also the official map here. They do have this strengthening more into a category 1 cyclone, or even if the conditions are right, a little bit more, but then it weakens before it gets to northern Madagascar. So let's see here. There's the GFS model for those areas, so it does show tropical cyclone Chido there in the southern Indian Ocean, and the storm near Australia does have like a moderate weak tropical storm there, but it quickly like dissipates. And tropical storm Chido, it passes right over northern Madagascar and passes through Mayotte and might affect the Comoros too as a tropical storm. Then the GFS still keeps it as a tropical storm, making landfall northern Mozambique on Sunday, December 15th. So we might need to closely monitor this, especially for Madagascar in the immediate range, but later for Mayotte and Mozambique. There's the European model, shows the storm trying to form just north of Australia, and then kind of tries to form but weakens very fast. And there's tropical cyclone Chido. The European strengthens this order to 976, but then weakens to 987 when it makes landfall in northern Madagascar. But it does pass like just the core just south of Mayotte, but might bring some very important impacts as well, but just like a moderate tropical storm, nothing that crazy. But it does go to make landfall in northern Mozambique as well. So both the European and the GFS are making landfall in Mozambique and Mayotte. So better monitor very closely. There's the Canadian model too, so it goes there, shows Chido strengthens to like 987 or something, a little bit less than the European, but it does make landfall near northern Madagascar, 995, a weaker tropical storm, and passes just 997 in Mayotte there in the Comoros. Might leave some very heavy rains, because the Canadian has this a little bit further north, passing right through the Comoros. Then it goes into Mozambique. It does have a 995 tropical storm making landfall in northern Mozambique, so this still a day, some days out. If this does make landfall in Mozambique, it will be like on Sunday, the 15th, so this track will still adjust a lot. But there's a high chance that it goes there, so better monitor. There's the icon as well, shows Chido there, it goes, strength is to 981, but then weakens to 986 before landfall there, and even to like 989 if it does make landfall in the northernmost part of Madagascar. Then it goes there and like goes a little bit further south, but affects Mayotte as well, and somewhere in the Comoros. and makes landfall as a 1008 and 1006 to 1008 millibar. So that's like barely a tropical depression. So the icon has it already like dissipating before Mozambique, but it does indicate a landfall there as well. So better monitor test. The Neptune shows Chido there. It goes strengthens some too, but passes like 992 north Madagascar. But it keeps it in Madagascar, doesn't go through Mayotte towards Mozambique. So I don't think this will happen, but you never know. And the other cyclones there in Australia shows the system spinning there and goes away and dissipates in the ocean. But it does have another quick low pressure spinning up December 13th, right near the coast of northwestern Australia. That pressure indicates a tropical storm there. It might not be that so organized, but it does indicate like almost a tropical storm. And there's the GFS for those other systems. So it does show the storm trying to form near Australia. It might be designated very quickly, but then it will dissipate. Then it goes there and doesn't show anything else forming near northern Australia, but it does have down the road more in the southern Indian Ocean there. And in some other location like the Philippines, the GFS does have a tropical storm passing December 20th, right near the central Philippines. And yeah, so we prepare a monitor for some surges of moisture or even a storm near the southern Philippines. There's the European, shows like the Zirzi, so it shows the disturbance in India. That won't develop, but it's worth monitoring because it leaves some very heavy rain in India, southern India and Sri Lanka. And then it does try to form the storm near Australia, but like very disorganized and dissipates very fast. And later has another disturbance passing Malaysia on like the 11th and 12th, crosses the Andaman Islands and goes towards India again. So it has like back-to-back disturbances hitting southern India and Malaysia and those areas. The European does have a tropical storm, also central Philippines, December 21st. And that's like a moderate to strong tropical storm there. So both models are indicating something near the Philippines after December 20th. But December 20th is like exactly 9 days from now, because December 10th now. So this forecast will still change a lot. So just be aware. And but we will monitor the progress of this and if it forms or not. So let's see, the icon doesn't try to spin up anything else northern Australia, but it does have that maybe quick tropical storm there now. And in the Philippines, it does have a low pressure just off the screen there, trying to form December 17th. So we better take a look at that closely. Now back to the European. So it does have there like throughout the Indian Ocean. It has some stronger winds here in the central Indian Ocean, but where Chido is, near northern Madagascar, shows a relatively good environment. Some shear around it, but very little. Then it probably goes into Mozambique there, and more later. And then in northern Australia, there's some higher shear, central Indian Ocean and Indonesia, but that area northern Australia does show favorable, but that system will rapidly dissipate in the ocean there, so it won't form into anything crazy. And near the Philippines, December 20th or something, it does have the storm there. Has a lot of shear just north of it near China, but right there shows more favorable. And the dry air and stuff does show like at central Indian Ocean, those areas very moist. The southern Indian Ocean, like way south, is a lot of dry air. But Chido goes there, past northern Madagascar, makes its way through. So not showing any dry air affecting it, just down the road after it makes landfall. And the system northern Australia shows it goes there, and dry air quickly wraps around it, and then it dissipates. So it's not very favorable there. But just north of Australia, in the Indonesia, there's a lot of moisture. So yeah, be careful in those areas. Here, there's like, let's see, just for some more ideas here. So there's the ensembles from the European, like the different members showing potential developments in the next 240 hours until the 20th. Does show Chido there in North Madagascar, potentially to Mozambique. So some members dive south, passing right through the coast of Mozambique near central Mozambique, and some are make land for northern Mozambique. So we have to monitor that too. Does have some members in the central Indian Ocean from the other disturbance, but not that much support. And it has in Australia that system now. The system now is actually not showing anything crazy, those like blue lines, but later they show those other low pressures by December 21st. Might need to watch more systems there. And like in the Philippines, they show a lot of support there until the 21st. So we might really need to monitor those parts of the southern central Philippines. So just be aware. The Indian Ocean does have some the southern Arabian Sea and like southern Bay of Bengal, but like weak disturbances. Some neighbors try to spin up these into cyclones near northern Maldives or some areas, but very low probability. But it does have some stuff there, even near Borneo in some areas, but that's like not much support. And the GFS on symbols does show a Chido there, and it shows less lines than the Europeans. So like the Europeans a little bit more confident on this, but the cyclones are right there, and you affect those areas. And it does have some support, but like very little. The Central Indian Ocean, closer to Australia, it has more lines there, like near the northwestern coast. So might need to watch that later on. But the system now will just dissipate there. It does have more lines near just north of Malaysia and near the Bay of Bengal as well. Some more disturbances to watch those areas, and especially for heavy rain near like Indonesia, Malaysia. It does have some lines for the season near the Philippines around the 20th. So bear watch closely there. Now, for the South Pacific, let's just see for curiosity, it does have a bunch of extra tropical cyclones near New Zealand and those areas, but it doesn't have any threats to Australia there. Just some low pressure near northern Australia to watch, but that's like very little to no support. And the European does have some isolated members showing things just north of Australia and near northeastern Australia, but like that's very little support. We, we need more confidence on that before we can say something. But now the main thing is the Indian Ocean. We don't have any evidence there yet. So let's see first the rainfall with this cyclone Madagascar. So the European has it very close there to like Vinking in the Seychelles, like 195 millimeters just the next 5 days, and this action the next like 2 days or something, more than 180. So please be careful there if you live in Vinking, because the cycle is like right there now and it might pass right over you. And northern Madagascar has like 102 millimeters, some areas like 111, so be careful those downpours. Might be some flooding threats there. And like northernmost Madagascar, where this might make landfall, the European indicates just north, not making landfall. But if this, even if this doesn't make landfall here, shows more than 140 or 150 millimeters there. So please be careful. And if this does make landfall there, it will be even worse. And Mayotte does show some 39 millimeters from this, some 43, and it has the worst just south. But if this passes more closer to Mayotte, might be worse. And the Comoros shows some storms, but nothing crazy in terms of accumulation. But even if this passes south, better be careful those storms in those areas. Mozambique has like 158 millimeters when this makes landfall on Sunday, and until Tuesday the 17th shows it continuing for Mozambique, and like make landfall there going all the way to central Mozambique. So this might leave a trail of heavy rain there. 171 millimeters, 152, 133, starting like late Saturday into Sunday. So please be careful, Mozambique. And then the GFS has like Let's see if it loads here. So it also has in Vinking more than 284 millimeters the next 5 days, practically 300, like 304. So this will be more concerning situation, those two islands there. So please be careful with flooding because the cyclones are already on your doorstep there. And these models indicate like more than 300 millimeters. So please stay safe. Just for reference, the cyclone is right there now, and you are right there. So please stay safe, especially the next 3 days as it passes right over you. Now, the GFS has a kind of making landfall for northern Madagascar, 126 millimeters, 133, 141. So be careful with flooding as this passes through there. Some other parts of northeastern Madagascar close to 100 millimeters, and more downpours near central and eastern Madagascar. Shows some showers in Mauritius and barely anything in Reunion, but BR some showers. And then the GFS eventually takes this into Mozambique as well, like some 8 millimeters, so like some 62. So be careful there. And but we'll know more information as this gets closer. So be careful. Now there's like the icon too. The icon that doesn't go that far out, but until Tuesday does go. So the icon is like more than 200 millimeters. Northern Madagascar like 300, 200, has like 302, 327. So it's indicating a more like flooding danger there. This might arrive like a little bit stronger, but the other models, the European, the GFS, just at like 100 and something, but this one has 300, so this is a possibility too. You never know, but this will cause a lot of flooding there, so just be aware and monitor the forecast. Northern Mozambique, so like 172, 188, so be careful. That's not Mozambique, that's Madagascar, so like the coastal northeastern Madagascar. Be careful that the icon has already like dissipated before Mozambique, but it does have some leftover moisture, more than 100 millimeters in parts of Mozambique from that. So be careful, like 111, 102. So stay safe there. And other parts of the Seychelles, some 73 millimeters, some 67, 107. So be careful. And if you're watching from South Central Africa, we'll talk about the storms in this video, but not the heat waves and other stuff. So we might make some other specific videos for each area. So let's, in terms of storms, does show summer tropical downpours mainly in Angola, the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Gabon shows like in the western coast of Gabon more than some 86 millimeters. São Tomé some storms. Equatorial Guinea. South Africa does show some thunderstorms near Durban and central, northeastern South Africa. This seems like very little accumulation, but this accumulation might come in the form of thunderstorms, especially in the afternoon. Shows more, some 3 millimeters in Cape Town and a shower or two down there. In Eswatini, a storm or two, but in terms of rain, it's more quiet there, according to the European. And after that, until the 21st, alright, it shows more. And this is until the 21st of December. The Europeans like 295 millimeters for the leftovers of the cyclone there. So if the cyclone dives all the way down to South Africa, it might still have a lot of moisture inside it and leave some very big flooding concerns there. But this rainfall is in the next 10 days, so this information changes like every 6 hours or something. So this forecast will still change a million times, but just to let you know, that's a possibility. But just the next 5 days, it's fairly quiet there. And shows, but be careful, like in Angola, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, those heavier downpours there. For example, now shows lots of storms in Angola happening now, and under those storms, there's a lot of lightning, some strong winds, and heavy rain. So be careful, some small flooding possible in those heavy downpours. Democratic Republic of the Congo shows some very heavy ones right now, so be careful those areas. The GFS has like until Sunday more downpours in Angola, especially some spots that are close to 100 meters, such as 93, 92 in Angola. Be careful. Mozambique, the cyclone. Tanzania shows more scared showers and storms there Rwanda, Burundi as well. There's some 60 millimeters Democratic Republic of the Congo, Gabon. So be careful those downpours there. And until the 22nd, the GFS doesn't have as bad as the European, but it does have more moisture near South Africa until the 22nd. But the GFS like worse in Angola and Tanzania, those areas. But this is the accumulation over 11-day period. So since it's like raining almost every day in those tropical areas, if you sum up 11 days, it turns to be a lot, but it will be distributed throughout 11 days. But be careful every day with those downpours there. But just until Sunday, the GFS does have more storms near South Africa and Botswana. So this the European didn't have. It does have some more storms until Sunday. And until Friday, it doesn't have. So this is indicating that we might have more storms Saturday and Sunday in South Africa, and some storms like today until Thursday, a storm or two. So be careful there. Now in India, there's this disturbance that the models do show like in the next 5 days, some 173, 160 millimeters. So be careful those areas. Those areas have recently been hit by that cyclone there. So this might cause more flooding, especially in the areas affected. So in Chennai shows 102 in the next 5 days, 91. This is 147. So please be mindful of this rain just until Friday. Already shows a lot, only the next like 2 days and 8 hours, and until Sunday a little bit more. So be careful those areas. The GFS has also, the GFS more concentrated further south. It doesn't have as much in Chennai. It has like some 49 millimeters in Chennai compared to 102 from the European. But the GFS is very crazy further south. Like he does have some like 342 millimeters. Some areas are like Veda Rayan, Tagatur. In other areas there's like 304 millimeters. Tiuchi 177. So this is a possibility to just be aware. Most of southeastern India, those areas there, some very heavy rains. Stay safe from flooding. Northernmost Sri Lanka should be more affected. Be careful for northern Sri Lanka during the next 5 days. The GFS shows like 200 millimeters. The European just 100. The icon shows around like 100 as well. And throughout the coast there of southeastern India shows 155, 90 millimeters. But it does barely has anything Chennai. It does have some 45 millimeters too. So be careful. The excess until Sunday has a lot there along the coast, more than 200 millimeters, even like 300 in some spots, and like 100. It does go throughout the coast there. Shows just 35 millimeters in Chennai, but all the models are indicating the worst, like those areas of southeastern India, just south of Chennai, but bear monitor in Chennai as well. And it does show northern Sri Lanka, those heavier downpours, so be careful there. It has some specific spots, southern India, some heavier downpours, so be careful those areas. Now for Malaysia, the Andaman Islands, does show the next 5 days more than 150 millimeters in Port Blair, more throughout the Nicobar Islands in some areas, so be careful there. Some more storms, some 74 millimeters, 133 just further north, and like 162, so stay safe from downpours there, those strong thunderstorms. And does show like in throughout southern Thailand, especially Malaysia's down there, but southern Thailand will get the worst hit, I think, from those waves of moisture, like 209 millimeters, 184. So this might cause flooding there, especially because it has been raining a lot of days now. Might cause more saturation in the soil and some more flooding. So be careful. 182, 200 millimeters. Northeastern Thailand does show some stronger storms too. So like some 76 millimeters, some 80 millimeters. Shows more along the east coast and less on the west coast. But be aware in all those areas. And Sumatra does show along the west coast some areas of 100 millimeters, 90, some 78, so be careful there. And especially for further south in Java has like some very heavy downpours throughout these days. Many spots are like 100, 136, so be careful in Java and the surrounding small islands. Those very small villages like 146, 190 millimeters, so be careful. The downpours and show some areas close to 210 in the far west end of Java, so stay safe. And in Vietnam, the European has like crazy amounts of moisture near 400 millimeters, 359, 388. So please be careful. Vietnam has already uh, had a lot of heavy rain throughout these last few months, and that the ground might be more saturated already. So, and this rain will just continue there. So please be careful, especially those areas are like 300, close to 400 millimeters. Some more downpours through Cambodia. So be aware, more storms from Cambodia. Some thunderstorms in like southern Vietnam. Some more downpours as well. I think I'll choose Central Southern Thailand. Southern Thailand is right there, but like Central Thailand and a storm or two there. So be careful, especially in Vietnam. It shows more in the northeastern Philippines, more than 150 millimeters, 171. So be careful in the Philippines. That area has also had a lot of heavy rain, and still more happening. So stay safe. Shows more there the coast of the eastern Philippines, close to 165, and some are scattered downpours the central Philippines in some areas. So stay safe. Southern Philippines, those waves of tropical moisture, like 90, 70 millimeters, those scattered tropical downpours there. So be careful. Shows a lot in Palau, Micronesia, so like some 87 millimeters in Palau. Those areas that tropical converges on shows those waves of moisture with thunderstorms, and the parts of westernmost in Indonesia, this easternmost Indonesia and the southern Philippines, be careful too. But Micronesia is like a lot more than 100 millimeters. Some areas are like 69 millimeters. So please be careful, especially those areas there. Some very small islands. But yeah, Guam and those areas a little bit better, some 7 millimeters, a passing storm or two, but maybe some showers this week. And until Friday, already shows a shower too in San Jose and a small one in Guam, but shows more especially from Friday to Sunday there. And further south shows more like that huge system in French Polynesia and the Cook Islands, which we talked about in the Oceania video yesterday. So you can watch that if you want, but just to give an update, the models are still showing until Sunday more than 157 millimeters in parts of the Cook Islands, and some 95 millimeters, 150, and like parts of French Polynesia, 104. Some areas are like some 149, so please be careful. Some flooding and heavy downpours in those areas. There are some small atolls. I don't think anybody lives there, but shows more than 200 millimeters there. So be careful. Shows more scarce thunderstorms in New Caledonia this week, some parts of Vanuatu, some showers and storms, and more in the Solomon Islands as well. Some areas northern Kiribati, already more tropical moisture. Central southern Kiribati, not as much, but more in Samoa and Tuvalu, those passing thunderstorms and stuff. In Fiji shows some showers this week, a storm or two, and especially in the afternoon shows more storms near Samoa and some showers there. So be careful. In Australia, it's pretty crazy there. Shows more than 100 millimeters along the east coast of Queensland, more there throughout some in New South Wales, but shows a lot of moisture in Queensland. So just be careful this week, and we'll make more videos specifically for Australia. It shows more from Western Australia, those heavy downpours there. So be careful those downpours. And examples what's happening right now shows those very strong storms with like a lot of lightning and like some intense winds and lightning there. So be careful those storms. And yeah, some islands there, like West Island, shows 9 millimeters, but there will be more storms nearby. And now, starting this over again with the GFS, shows a lot in southern Thailand. The GFS is more than 300 millimeters in southern Thailand as well. Be careful in southernmost Myanmar. It also branches this into southernmost Myanmar and like more for the Andaman Nicobar Islands. So be careful with flooding in southern Thailand. Shows more storms in Malaysia too, especially in northern Sumatra, but not as crazy in Malaysia. Shows more there, like in Java, close to 200 millimeters, southern Java, southwestern Java, and most of Java, like eastern Java, more than 160 millimeters, 170. So be careful. Those central areas in Indonesia, like 114, 139, but this is distributed throughout 5 days. But just be careful, just until Friday shows less, of course, but until Sunday shows more there. So be careful. Northern Malaysia and Brunei shows close to 100 millimeters, especially in Kalimantan in central Indonesia. So be careful the downpours there. The GFS in Vietnam has also like more than the European, actually some 456 millimeters. So this can really cause some very catastrophic flooding in Vietnam. So please be careful. Shows more all the way to central Vietnam, some in easternmost Laos as well. If you're right near the border with Vietnam, there will be more than 100 millimeters. So be careful. And to Cambodia, more storms there, especially southern Vietnam. So be careful. In the Philippines, the GFS doesn't have as much as the European, but it does have some more downpours too, especially southern Philippines. The GFS some worse downpours, and throughout like those lost islands there, and shows more Indonesia. I showed you, and especially Micronesia. Some areas, the worst is in the ocean there, but shows some more islands, those heavier downpours. It also has like in Western French Polynesia, the Cook Islands has a little bit less in the Cook Islands, but it has more like those islands Western, Southwestern French Polynesia. So please stay safe. Shows a lot across Queensland as well the next 5 days, so be careful there. And also Western Guinea and Papua New Guinea, if you are there, shows a lot, more than 100 millimeters, those like very heavy tropical downpours. So be careful. The Europeans also scare downpours there, close to 200 in some areas, 130 millimeters. So be careful. Back in Thailand, the icon does have, especially along the eastern coast, some very heavy downpours. Please be careful. And then northeastern Malaysia, some in central Sumatra, into like central Malaysia and Kalimantan, Brunei, some storms too, and some small islands, the South China Sea, like Trong Sa, shows more than 147 millimeters, 100 millimeters. So be careful if you are in those little islands. It shows more in central Vietnam, more than 200, even 271, but it doesn't have as bad as the other models. So be careful. Shows more downpours near the eastern Philippines as well, the southern Philippines, but many areas there. And it has, like in Palau, it has more than 130 millimeters. So be careful there with those downpours. Micronesia, those areas. The icon is also like in Papete, 126 millimeters. Some other islands, French Polynesia, close to even 200. The icon has like 186, and throughout the Cook Islands, close to 200 as well. So stay safe there. And the worst of that, it's already there. There's already those strong storms, but the worst was like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, especially in the Cook Islands. But the worst in French Polynesia from now to Friday, I think. So be careful. Some systems in New Zealand there we talked about yesterday, and the wind and everything. So watch that and stay safe there. those tropical downpours, and please warn others of flooding because this can be very dangerous there. And if I put this until the December 20th, alright, it shows like much more there, but this is the rain accumulation for 10 days, so 10 days is a lot, and this is the whole rain throughout 10 days, and it rains like every day in those areas, so it's distributed throughout 10 days. But just showing this just to give you an idea that it will be very wet in those areas. But in the short term, just the next 5 days, be careful with flooding in those more highlighted areas there, and stay safe in Madagascar from that system. Just a small recap on the wind gusts. So the European does have this there. Be careful in Vinking, close to 100 km per gust, even like 97. This goes there, gets momentarily to 106. So this goes. The European does have northernmost Madagascar even goes to like 138 km per gust. So be careful those very strong gusts there, and the high seas, and like a little bit breezier for central Madagascar. This does go, and it does show the worst gusts near like southern Mayotte and some higher seas, but the GFS does have like some moderate gusts in Mayotte, northern Madagascar, some higher gusts there, close to 90, and Vinking and those areas. So be aware. Vinking has close to 100, so stay safe. Those winds and the surf and everything, and some slightly breezier conditions near Taiwan and other areas, like just south of Java. There's some breezier conditions in the ocean. West Island, it calms down by this weekend, West Island, but later shows some breezier conditions in Australia. Who makes some more videos specifically for Australia, there are those systems, but with those disturbances, the Bay of Bengal does show some breezy conditions, the Andaman Islands and India, especially the South China Sea throughout this week, especially later this week. So be careful there and stay safe in those areas. Please stay safe.